Welcome to Roll for Trucko. This is Frank, and I'm gonna make a character sheet. A little backstory. So I have a character called Captain Goggles, which where's my goggles? I don't have my goggles here, but I portrayed that character. It's basically just me, but just more heroic. So that's a comic character I created, and he has a partner, Masked Woman. So it's Captain Goggles and Masked Woman. I did do a very small print run uh, of the first issue, or it was supposed to be just a one contained story, a short story. I'm gonna add more to it, and I've been making uh, mini comics of it. That's actually how it started. It started as a mini comic, and I have like some little strips with those characters. So what I wanted to do is make a game where I could explore the world a little bit more, and if people wanted to play it, they could do the same or just make make up their own world. But I wanted to use the comic as a basis, and that's actually why I started this channel, because I was doing research because I wanted to make a role playing game, a simple role playing game that I could do as a zine and have some character stat blocks, uh, random tables, and a mission, and something you could do, even make a little map or something. Uh, but I didn't really know that much about role playing games, and I'm still learning, and that's actually how I got into it. Because for a long time I didn't play any role playing games. I knew of them, at least of the main one, uh, and I knew there were other ones. And I had tried to get into one years ago. That's when I bought my first set of polyhedral dice, which I no longer have. I lost them. And, um, I think it was an edition or maybe an expansion of Vampire the Masquerade. I no longer have the book that I bought. I gave it to a cousin who's also into vampires, and I thought she might like it and get some ideas from it. But anyways, long story short, I wasn't really into role playing games that much, but getting into it more because of wanting to expand the world of Captain Goggles and Masked Woman. So I'm going to be creating some character sheets, and you're gonna see that. So I wanted to give that backstory first, and I'm still working on mechanics. I'm still deciding, what I want to use, uh, what dice do what. So a lot of that is still work in progress, but I want to show what I have so far. So, so first, I'm going to show a little video. It's a video that I use on my other channel as my intro, Salazar Art Nation, but I have a lot of Captain Goggles and Masked Woman stuff in there. Some just drawings and some of the pages, and some pages I haven't even completed. Like the story hasn't been completed, so there's stuff in there, and a little song that the real life Masked Woman she sung. We created the song together. We should probably get back to it at some point, and I will be continuing that story as well. But I'm going to show this little video just so you can kind of see what I'm working with, and then we'll make some character sheets.
She settles squabbles with the goggles, battle like full throttle. Bugs to gobble, don't have to ask. She puts on the mask to face each task, ready to face an attack, won't come in last. I started this character sheet about a year ago when I was first getting into role playing games and RPGs in general, because I do want to make my own RPG game, maybe an RPG zine. That's the original idea.
of these characters, Captain Goggles and Mask Woman. And it's also a great way to kind of flesh out the world a bit. But I do have a basis for the world and for these characters. And, I thought it would be great to have them, as, a game where you can either play as them or have them as NPCs. So I was making a character sheet where they could be NPCs. And that's why I decided to go at first with the 2-in-1 character sheet, and I realized I was using a different type of character sheet, not the one that I ended up with. So I redid that, and you'll see that. But before I did that, I was drawing them because I wanted to have their characters on the sheets, and I made up classes for them. For Mask Woman, I came up with the Sentinel class. I will be doing a video talking about that class in particular. And for Captain Goggles, I came up with the Defender class, which is a version of the Fighter class. And Sentinel class is a version of the Thief or Rogue class. But again, those will be things I talk about in their own separate videos. So you have the Defender class there for Captain Goggles, and the reason I chose that name, there is this great worship song that I like called "You're My Defender." It's a praise and worship song, and I like the lyrics, and I thought they sound like superheroes, which Captain Goggles and Mask Woman are superheroes of sorts. So I thought that would be great to call him a defender. That's his class. Again, that's for another video. And I decided to go with their individual character sheets, so you can have more space there. So I just put the basics. I wanted to keep this simple. I made some changes there, some corrections, and I did make this as a blank character sheet as well, so you can come up with other characters. And here you have Mask Woman, so all her info. I only kept the stats. I didn't include any of the other information because I haven't done that yet, and I'm still working out on what I want them to have as AC, what I want them to actually wear. So that's why that's blank. Now, going back to the original 2-character sheet, 2-in-1, I did like that original design, so I incorporated with the new stats. And here are the Captain Goggles and Mask Woman character sheet. All of this stuff is still being worked out, but I just want to show what I have. And look, a cute Mask Woman chibi. So that's what I have so far, and I did print them out. So this is the updated simple character sheet. I added the squares, background, special ability. So that's the simple one. Did I add XP? Yes, I had forgot the first time that I did it. I have copies where I was making a bunch of copies, and that's when I start seeing mistakes. Here's the Captain Goggles blank character sheet. So that might be something that I'll include. So if you want to play Captain Goggles, but you want to roll up your own stuff and maybe change it around, you can. But I am going to eventually finish this one, and I do have the stats already printed on here. It's just figuring out, his armor class, because it's a big coat. It's what they're called. They're like the big old coats that pilots and captains wear. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff in here. And eventually, once I get all the information, I will create a stat block so you can play him as an NPC if you wanted to, or just play him as a character. Same thing for Mask Woman. There's the blank sheet. There will be a video later on. I can't promise when, but talking more about the Sentinel class and the Defender class, and there's other classes I want to come up with. And here's one of her stats. And this is the modified version of the double one, which when I do make the zine, it'll probably be something like this that I'll include. So that's why I want something a little bit simpler that'll be on one page and just have their stat block, the basic information, and that's it. That's all you need. That's the blank one, and this is the one with these stats. So I made copies of of each, and those are the character sheets. Now, if you want your own simplified character sheet, this one, the simple one, basic one, I will be leaving a link in the description below. Right now, it's going to be a Google link. Maybe someday, eventually, I'm thinking of either doing a Patreon or a newsletter. So, whichever one that I do, or if I do both, I'll include that as something free that you get when you sign up. But if you are interested, if you want to just play around what you can do with character of these stats, I will make these available once I put a little bit more information. But let me know if you're interested, and I'll get that to you. And this has been Frank Salazar with Roll for Trouble. Hope you like this video. Leave a like and leave a comment. It's actually good if you leave a comment directly on the video. Sometimes I'll get comments like somewhere else, but it helps the video a lot to get seen if you leave a comment below, and so that we can engage in conversations in the comments. But yeah, leave a comment, leave a like, let me know what you thought of the video. You think this is a good video that someone else would like, please feel free to share it. This has been Frank Salazar with Road for Tarocco, and we'll see you next time.
Roll for Tarocco! Subscribe!